Every time you catch a trout, you're selecting which personality survives in that stream. The research on this goes back to 2003. Dr. Lynne Sneddon at the University of Liverpool placed 42 rainbow trout in a tank alone and dropped a novel object 10 centimeters in front of them. If a fish approached within 3 minutes, it was considered bold. A fish that didn't was shy. Of the 42 fish, 24 were bold and 18 were shy. Fish placed in identical conditions responded in completely opposite ways, and those differences held every time they were retested. Bold fish spent 76.3% of their time in open water and swam at 1.2 movements per minute. Shy fish spent 6.2% in open water and swam at 0.37 movements per minute. Bold fish learned new tasks in significantly fewer trials, and the probability of those results occurring by chance was less than 1 in 1,000. The behavioral split reflects a physiological one. Research by Overly and colleagues in 2007 found that cortisol response to stress directly predicted personality type. Fish with low cortisol were bold. Fish with high cortisol were shy. When researchers used a drug called metyrapone to block cortisol production in rainbow trout, the stress behavior changed, confirming the hormone itself was driving the difference. A separate study on brown trout exposed fish to a low dose of antidepressant, and those fish showed measurably reduced anxiety in novel object tests. Less freezing, more curiosity, faster approach to new stimuli. Remove the cortisol response, and the behavior follows. A 2025 study from the University of Gothenburg implanted heart rate biologgers into 32 individual trout and ran them through 3 sequential stress tests. Personality stayed consistent across all 3. The most unexpected result came from the pairwise contest. Shy fish scored significantly higher dominance indexes than bold fish in direct competition. The fish that avoids open water and refuses novel objects was more aggressive and more dominant when it had to fight. Consistent angling pressure selects against bold fish directly. The fish most likely to investigate a lure, drift out of cover, or risk open water is the bold individual, the fish that ends up in a net. Shy fish hold tight, refuse presentations, and survive to reproduce. Over decades of catch and release pressure, the population's behavioral composition shifts. The bold phenotype gets removed generation by generation. What remains is a population skewed towards fish that evolved under direct angling pressure to ignore you. You're selecting which personality survives in that stream.